Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Collective Love Energy reading for the week for December 3rd, Friday, December 3rd. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jane. Welcome, welcome. Super, super happy to have you here. Timestamps are going to be in the description box and the comment thread down below. Now, we have a reading for people who are in relationships, and we have a collective reading for people who are single. So feel free to pick either or given your situation. And that's it. All right, see you in just a sec. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Collective Love reading. Thank you guys so much for being here. Before I get started even a little bit, I just want to talk a little bit about the experience of my trying to do this reading. I've come to, over my years of doing this as a reader, I've come to understand that whenever I have some struggles with getting the words out, it's usually a reflection of what people are going through. It's not necessarily my own incompetence or my own inability to channel. It's just that there's stuff going on. And what's weird is that we have this Mercury in Sag, which is such an expressive planetary transit, but it's also it's having a hard time coming out in words. I think that Sagittarius is pulling Mercury up to a really, really high level right now. And it's hard to kind of come down to this minutia and to get words out, to get feelings and emotions out in a way that is usable information for other people. And because Sagittarius just wants to operate on such a high playing field. It doesn't like to pull things down and get into the nitty gritty of stuff. It likes to keep things big. And I think I feel like my inability to get these words out has a lot to do with some of your inabilities to get the words out. That there are needs that you have that have not gone expressed. And I remember talking about that last week as well. And I'm wondering if this eclipse cycle is just making it very difficult to put yourself in a vulnerable situation because you are feeling so vulnerable as it is because the eclipse energy is so raw and powerful. But what you're craving the most, now again, for those of you who are new, the left-hand side are the cards that I read as though it's the people watching. This is the set of cards for the partner. Okay, so this is for relationships, marriages, couplings. Okay, so this is your other person and this is you. Now, it's not to say that you're not getting along. It's not to say that you're not, going out, making things happen. I mean, I feel like everything is just kind of normal. But I also know that there is a craving for something really deep and really special and really meaningful. And that as much as you want to be out in the world creating, whether it's with your business, and I'm sure you guys are killing it with your business. I'm sure you're doing a great job at your jobs. I'm sure you're doing a great job with your kids. You're doing what you do. But I don't know that those are the places that you're really going to shine right now, not with Venus coming into her retrograde position against Pluto. See, I think this Pluto-Venus situation, which we're going to have for a few months, it's not about superficial satisfaction. It's not about materialistic satisfaction. It's about plutonic intimacy, plutonic connection. And I think that you are coming out, really powerful in that way. And I think in many ways you are going to be the leader of that because I see the energy of your partner here. I don't know how tuned in your partner is to this kind of stuff. I feel like your partner, oh, here comes Annie. I feel like your partner is out in the world doing their things, King of Wands kinds of things. They're building, they're creating. They have their own set of obstacles. They have their own set of issues, their own set of concerns that probably has nothing to do with you. they're not tuned in. But I also feel like they feel that something is missing, because if they didn't feel like something was missing, they wouldn't be out searching so hard. And I think they are searching really hard, and they're working really hard, and they're creating a lot, and they are doing a lot of really great things. And that's all very well and good. But it also kind of leaves the relationship as a last stop. But I suspect that if the two of you can come together in deep level, deep, meaningful intimacy, because I'm looking at this 7 of Wands card, this sexual magic card. These people aren't even having sex in this card. It's not about sex. It's about intimacy. And it's about the divine masculine holding and containing the divine feminine. And I think I said this last week, that regardless of sexual preferences, orientations, gender identities, regardless of any of that, there is going to be one person who at this time is taking on a little bit more of the divine feminine versus the divine masculine, okay? If you are taking on the divine feminine energy, your place to truly thrive, like your source for thriving in every other area, financial, parental relationships, children's relationships, and all that, your source of thriving is actually going to be within the intimate moments. Because this is where it is going to give you strength and courage to know that you are fully and inherently accepted by the person that you love the most. Which you probably already know that you are. But sometimes you need to really know it. And you need the reminder, and you need the refresher. And with Venus conjunct Pluto this week, slowing way, way, way down, Miss Venus is, right? Slowing way down. She's really going to ensure that dynamics within relationships truly change and evolve. And if you express a need for intimacy and that need is rejected, that's going to completely change the trajectory of the relationship. If you express a need and that need is met, it will also change the trajectory of the relationship. And also probably other areas of your life, such as your careers, such as your financial futures. Now, this card here that says short-term results, which Miss Annie so helpfully put her paw on, this short-term results card, it actually kind of goes hand. I'm kind of really connecting with the pink on these cards here. We have read a book about self-love, because this intimacy is great, but it's not going to... Hold on, let me think. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why I'm getting so hung up on things today. Because I feel like the book about self-love, quote unquote, it's kind of a silly sort of recommendation, but it's to help you to find that confidence and that empowerment from within. To find that voice that I think we're having a hard time coming up, is having a hard time kind of making sense. Like your super high level Sagittarian part of you knows exactly what's going on, but to mercurialize it, if I can say it that way, that's kind of a weird way, but if you can bring it down to Mercury level for communication, it kind of like dumbs it down a little bit. Like language is such a limiting tool for us to use, which is why I think this intimacy is so powerful, because this is energetic. This is psychic, telepathic type stuff. This is soul to soul. You don't need words in that. But also, you can't remain in this position all day, every day with your partner, right? Your partner has got to go out in the world and do things, and you also have to go out and do things. We have this Master card, and even though this kind of heart is in a cage, I actually don't really even mind it, because what I'm seeing it is you being a true master of your domain and coming into this, becoming a master of yourself and truly embracing vulnerability, Ace of Cups reversed, embracing vulnerability and embracing that as a power, not a weakness. I think a lot of relationships are going to be tested with Venus conjunct Pluto. This is not going to be an easy retrograde, Venus retrograde, for people who are in rocky relationships, because the demands are going to be high. And if there is an expression of expectation and the person shows no interest in meeting those expectations, things are going to be different. You're going to look at each other in a different way. If you're healthy, you get to go deeper within one another in a way that maybe you haven't done in a very, very long time. And right now, the universe is asking people to really step up to the plate and really up the ante and to really play the game and say, how committed are you really? How in love are you really? How passionate about your future are you really? Do you really see this person? Can you really continue with this person? If the answer is yes, then this should be a moment of celebration. These moments of intimacy is no big deal, no problem. But again, if this is just an energy of someone saying, okay, well, I'll just appease my partner, I'll do what they want, I'll hold them tonight, okay, fine. But if they're not really there, then that is going to offer these short-term results, which is why this read a book about self-love is saying, look, it's great to have this beautiful container within your intimate relationship, but you also have to, ensure that you are feeling confident, that you are feeling empowered, even in your vulnerability, even in your kind of exposed state, to still be empowered even in that. And maybe a book about self-love. Now, it may not be a book. You might just want to watch some inspirational things on YouTube or listen to an inspirational podcast or something like that. You may want to do that because that's what's needed here to truly to kind of build up that courage to truly express what it is that you genuinely need. Because I feel like some of you know what you need and you haven't said it yet. Not because you're entirely afraid, but because maybe you're thinking, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it will go away. Maybe it's just a blip on the radar. Like, I feel kind of silly, saying that. What's my partner going to think, or whatever is going on. But I think that your partner, especially if you are in a healthy relationship, will appreciate that sort of being checked on, being like, you got to check back into the relationship. Like, I know you're out in the world, but you got to come back. Like, I'm here. I have emotional needs, and I know this could be great for you as well. Like, we just need to re-bond, if you will. We need to reestablish this bond. We need to reconnect in a new kind of way, because energy is changing very, very quickly, especially with all the Aquarian energy. Aquarius moves fast, right? Air energy is very fast. And with Saturn there, a lot of lives are changing, right? People are growing new businesses, they're moving to new places, they're going out and doing totally new kinds of things, they're pushing themselves, they're growing, they're traveling, there's a lot going on. And sometimes just truly being together, and I'm even going to say in a non-sexual way, and it's not with the TV on, watching your favorite show on Netflix, it's not even cooking together, it's like literally just holding one another. Your partner needs that more than you think as well, because they're going to need that emotional space too. Because them, with the divine masculine showing up here, is providing, and that's what a divine masculine does best. It provides. And the providing energy is more, it's like fed when it is able to truly provide. So you're feeding one another here. The divine feminine with the security and the emotional safety, and the divine masculine with the, provider container role. It's good on both sides. And it will really give your partner the confidence to go out and do what they know they need to do. But some of you are going to be afraid to ask for that. You're going to be afraid to even need it. afraid to admit that maybe you need it. And that can be problematic with a Venus retrograde. It can create tension. It can pull things apart. Remember that Pluto is about transformation and death and rebirth. Sometimes death does mean endings. If you are not prepared for a transformation, not that many of you are, like some of you are in like really great, healthy relationships, and that's amazing. So this offers completely new growth. But if you're not in a healthy relationship and you don't consciously come together right now, Pluto can really create a lot of tension. He points things out. He brings out karmic situations for the sake of rebirth ultimately, but you still are going to have to face those things. So if you get to embrace it, I would say definitely do that. Okay? Let's pull out a couple of oracle cards here to finish this off. Believe in the impossible. And that's a beautiful card to get no matter what is going on. And this doesn't even have to be believe in the impossible within a relationship. It could be believe in the impossible financial goal that you have, right? Believe in the impossible life that you think that you truly want. Like believe. Belief is what drives so much. And we've talked so much about belief with all the scorpionic energy. I know that belief has been a theme for the past month or so, and it will continue to be so as Jupiter moves through Pisces through the beginning of the year. We are going to talk about belief and faith till the cows come home, like all day, every day, belief and faith, belief and faith. All right, so to believe is like the most beautiful ingredient for any spell. Let's see, one final card here. And we have harmony, music. I love that. And I love harmony, the word harmony for the Lovers card, for the Seven of Wands. I kind of see this two people who are in, like you're in the same relationship, but you're also in different places in life. This is an opportunity to, that's a really cool way actually of looking at Pluto energy, establishing harmony, which isn't the normal kind of word. Those are not the words we normally use for Pluto at all. However, ultimately that is what it does. It does ultimately create harmony. And I think that's something great that you can pay attention to. And work toward consciously. Again, if I could find the words, I don't know what is going on. How are you guys feeling? Is this just me? This might be a just me thing. And just today is just a weird day because the eclipse or whatever. But man, oh man, finding the words for this was like a whole different level of something going on. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. All right, guys? You guys know I love you. I wish you nothing but the best. Have an amazing week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Alrighty, so this reading is for the singles out there. And of course, we are accommodating Miss Annie here, who just moved. For those of you who are single and who are hoping to have a relationship, and if you're new, this side indicates the energy for the people watching, and this side indicates the energy for the external world. I want to start with this death card because Pluto, death, planet of death and rebirth, is absolutely going to be a thing over the next few months. Now, I'm looking at this minor setback card as well, and I kind of have to think of how poetic it is that we're going through this Venus-Pluto thing in Capricorn, especially from a northern hemisphere perspective. Sorry, southern hemisphere, I'm sorry, but from a northern hemisphere perspective, we're moving into winter. We have this wintry time ahead of us. And we have this death, rebirth, Venus relationshipy kind of quality. And I feel like many singles out there might be going through a little bit of a hibernation period, not because you're trying to hide out, not because you're fed up, not because you're anything, but just because it feels natural, right? We just went through this really intense eclipse energy. It was really all over the place. There was really high intense levels with the full moon eclipse in Taurus because Uranus was so heavily involved. And then we have this new moon eclipse happening tomorrow. And there's just like this, it's just kind of weird. And then we immediately move into Capricorn season and we move into Venus retrograde, right? And I feel that there's this kind of pulling in because you know that there is a change happening, that you know that you are changing. The values that you hold are also changing. And when you emerge from this, I love the Eight of Cups with the Ten of Swords here. And I love the image on this particular deck with the Ten of Swords because these birds are like flying away. And there's this quality of like, okay, all of your demons, all of your shadows, officially, they don't have any power over you anymore. And I think that this is a time of incredible healing for the single individuals out there who have been through difficult relationships or who have gone through a divorce or who have, been through an abusive situation, right? This is a time of deep cleansing and deep purge. And last week, we talked a lot about looking out into the world and being so optimistic because you're seeing a lot of people coming together. You might be seeing people getting married or getting together, officially establishing relationships, and that was an indication that you're on the right track. Don't think that this is you kind of going off that track or coming out of alignment in any way. I think this is what is needed to really prepare you for the coming together. And what will be interesting to see are the people who over the next couple of years who stay with me during these readings actually do come together with people. And I hope that you guys will write on my comments and say, hey, I just, got together with the most amazing person. Hey, I got engaged. Hey, we're getting married, next month, whatever. I hope that happens because it's going to be a beautiful journey to see people coming out of their shadows, coming out of their shadowy place and coming into the light in terms of the romantic area of their life. Because what I'm seeing in the environment, and I don't know why I'm seeing this. I'm getting this vibe of like, the word that came to my mind was shenanigans. Like you look out into the world and you just see a bunch of shenanigans when it comes to dating. You see so clearly the signs, the triggers, you see so clearly the behaviors and the word patterns that people use. Like this has been the benefit. For those of you who have been on the healing journey, this has been the benefit of Chiron through Aries because you become so hyper aware of your own self and your own behaviors and your own toxic cycles that you can now so clearly see exactly what people are doing. And that can make dating a little bit difficult because you're going to be able to weed people out so quickly that you may think, oh, well, I need to, I'm being too picky. Maybe I'm being too judgmental. Maybe I need to give people more of a chance. And I would say, no, you don't. Be, committed to your definitions, not to your definitions, but be committed to your judgments that you make because chances are you're 100% on point. And that may feel also like a little bit of a minor setback because with all of the optimism, and again, with Jupiter coming into Pisces at the very end of the month, there is going to be a lot of belief and faith. Excuse me, I said this for the couple reading as well. Belief and faith, belief and faith, belief and faith. That's going to be the topic du jour for the first 5 months of 2022 with Jupiter through Pisces. We're going to say that over and over and over again. And I don't want to see anyone losing that, especially when you are kind of maybe dealing with certain people and you're like, man, there are a lot of shenanigans going on out there. There are a lot of people that don't know what the heck is going on. There are a lot of people that, they don't really know themselves in the way that I've worked so hard to know myself, and I definitely don't want to see anyone lowering their vibration just to get back into the same old, because that would be a denial of self. And one of the things with this Venus conjunct Pluto is truly you're changing your values, changing what you value, changing what is important to you. And I think this King of Cups, or King of Chalices in this deck, is exactly what you're wanting, which is someone who is so empowered in their own right, who is so self-knowledgeable, who is so aware, and who is also worldly successful. And, I know that sounds kind of like a little not so spiritual, but I think we all want people who can take care of themselves, right? They can go out, they can build businesses, they can make money, they can hold a job, these are just kind of basic human survival things nowadays. Like, that's just something you have to do. And I feel that, that this is what's inevitable for you. This is this coming together card that we're getting. Did I read this card already? I don't remember if I read this card. You are lifting the veil of illusion and becoming more conscious of the world around you. This has a lot to do with the shenanigans going on. It's just like, you just kind of have to laugh because you are so aware, and you're so aware of your own awareness to a degree that is just like, it's incomparable for a lot of people. Like, they just can't compare. And it sets the bar really high, but isn't that where you would want to be? Setting the bar high is going to demand of the universe a high-reaching partner. And a King of Cups definitely fits the bill. Remember, the King of Cups is a scorpionic energy. It doesn't mean you're going to be attracting a Scorpio, but it does mean that there is someone with scorpionic self-knowledge, which Scorpio definitely has when it's mature and evolved, and also the materialistic nature. Scorpio is a big money sign. So, it's going to have both the spiritual component and the materialistic component. And I feel that this is potentially someone that can make you feel a sense of relief, a sense of absolute security. It's someone that can kind of take the pressure off. Now, for those of you who identify as a divine feminine, this is absolutely going to feel like a breath of fresh air for you, because this is someone who takes that divine masculine energy and truly knows how to wield that power. Where this person can be truly divine masculine and you can be truly divine feminine. If you relate a little bit more to the divine masculine, that's fine. And this is you in your empowerment as well. So either way that goes, that's ultimately what is available to you. You either step into the role of the King of Cups or you meet the King of Cups individual. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And it's what you deserve. And it's what's inevitable because you continue to hold a high vibration and because you are not afraid to walk away and liberate yourself from all of these shenanigans. It's like you dip one toe in the pool of the dating pool, right? And you're like, nope, absolutely not. I'm going to let the universe do this choosing for me. I'm going to let the universe do the work. I'm going to let the universe work out all the logistics, because clearly this method of going about doing it is just simply not really the best approach. All right. And I do think that there is a lot of these birds sort of flying up to the sky. You just kind of allow things to go to the heavenly realm and allow the angels, allow the guides, allow the spirits to kind of do the organization for you. To do the coming together for you. There's no doubt in my mind that over the course of the next couple of years that you will be coming together with somebody, Right now, it's just a matter of being aware of your awareness. I think that's it. Being aware of how your standards are changing, being aware of how even this minor setback, it's kind of interesting because I feel like we are aligning to the cycles of the earth. Venus retrograde in Capricorn during Capricorn season, during winter, Northern Hemisphere winter, hibernation time, right? I mean, like, it's sort of pulling us back in right now. And I think that by aligning ourselves with the cycle of the planets, the cycle of the earth, I think that's a really good thing. Meditate and contemplate. And I think that's meditate and contemplate on your own sort of success in your own beingness right now. It's not so much about visualization. Your vibration will do the work for you. Ancient healing wisdom, the shaman. You are sort of in your own right a shaman at this point. It's what happens when you heal yourself. You kind of self-initiate into a shamanic program, you know? I mean, if you can't heal yourself, how on earth are you going to be able to help others? I feel that it is that ancient healing wisdom that enables you to so skillfully point out pain in others. Immediately you can see when someone has an issue with their father or their mother. Immediately you can see that someone went through an emotionally abusive, toxic relationship, right? Immediately you can see that. Immediately you can see people's pain in their eyes and in their aura, and you can just hear it in their voice and the way they joke about things, the way they cover things up. I mean, again, shenanigans. You just see a whole bunch of people lying to themselves, and it's not to discourage you. It's to help remind you that you do not want to go backwards, because how long ago was it that you were doing the same thing? And you are only moving upward and onward. So there are many other people who are doing that too. This is a week to stay determined, a week to stay focused, and a week to feel that you are, absolutely living up to your own standards and being exactly who and what you know you are. And that's a beautiful thing. All right? I'm going to leave you with that. Beautiful reading for the singles. I love you. Have an amazing week. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.